My name is Nealy Fischer, and I run a lifestyle brand called The Flexible Chef. I wrote a best-selling cookbook called Food You Want for the Life You Crave. I've been married for 22 years. I have 4 kids, and my family is one of the most important things in my life. I've been a yoga teacher for about 16 years. Flexibility to me is really about bending without breaking. It's actually the definition of flexibility in the dictionary if you look it up. And it's really just about not breaking when life throws you curveballs. How to deal with plans that change during the day that you have to pivot to a plan B and be okay with that. How to be okay with 80%, which is just as excellent as your perfectionist 100%. I've made a lot of changes in my own life so that I'm less of a control freak, that I'm less of a perfectionist, give myself a break a lot more often. I'm a lot more, flexible. But in previous years, in a past lifetime, I would always feel some sense of guilt when I took the time for myself as if I somehow didn't deserve it. One of the most universal challenges is that so many of us, we often think that we're just not good enough. And we're constantly feeling like we have to measure up. The inner emotion about not feeling like you're worthy of love in this world, there's a humanity and a rawness to it that's okay. And I think that the lesson is it's okay to be vulnerable. The joy in living and the realness that happens in relationships is when you are prepared to be vulnerable. And so when you're trying to change something about your life, don't mask it with some facade, because then if you can reconnect with the vulnerability and the emotion of perhaps an issue that you struggled with and you've overcome, then the cool thing is that you can be a role model for somebody else. The challenges that we face, we bring them into our relationships. So the challenges that I might have faced growing up with self-image and with not feeling worthy or not being good enough, I have this opportunity as a parent to do the opposite for my children. I have 4 kids, and one of the most enlightening things about raising them, or for any mom raising their children, is they always keep you in check. A really great way to not be so hard on yourself is to surround yourself with loving and supportive people who have your back. Seth is such an amazing husband. He supports every crazy idea that I've had over the years, and trust me, I've had crazy ideas, and it's every single time it's whatever I can do to support you. I guess my flexibility journey started on a rooftop at a restaurant in Hong Kong, and I had just started a serious yoga practice, and I told Seth that I had this exciting idea. I'd love to be a yoga teacher one day. I had a 3-month-old at home, so it wasn't really practical. Maybe he was 6 months old by then. We were like, well, you should go. And I'm like, wait, I can't. I have kids at home. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, go to India and follow your passions and go be a yoga teacher. And so I did.
She's been super supportive. If I want to go run up a mountain, go run up a mountain, right? If she wants to go to LA and to go film something, great, go ahead and do it.
I think also that brings up a point, which is the more you give in a relationship, the more you get. Meaning, if you look to get something out of it, or if you look to receive, you're not going to receive. So I give and you get, and then you give and I get, and then we both win.
You got it. Date night, doing things for each other, surprising each other in all ways.
I wake up with a passion to create change in the world and in my life and help my kids, throughout their day. This show is so meaningful and powerful for me because I get to come into a stranger's home and help them wake up with purpose the next day. And if all we do is identify one pain point or the biggest challenge that they're currently facing, and we can help them come a little closer to center, then I feel like my life's mission has been accomplished. What's occurred to me is the power of the work that we've been doing with these families. Because most experts or most disciplines are very linear. I'm awed that by combining both the coaching element / the analytical side of things, combining that with actual skills in the kitchen, with organization, with scheduling, and then in certain situations, deciding that the best thing to do is actually have people experience in their bodies what they've just discovered, either on paper or on the laptop or in their minds in a conversation, that the transformation can happen so much more quickly. I feel like I'm living my life on purpose. And gosh, I'm gonna cry. I actually think about this every day. how am I living a life that matters? How can I help other people live a life that matters so they don't have any regrets at the end? You know, it's about empowering people and empowering myself to utilize the tools that we were given, the gifts, let's say, that God has given us, to better achieve whatever we want to achieve in our lives is really the journey.